Tensions are growing in the Middle East. The USS Abraham Lincoln arriving in the Arabian Sea 2 weeks early to deter threats from Iran. Foreign officials, though, say they are skeptical about the imminent threat Iran poses. But U.S. officials are telling the New York Times there's intelligence showing photographs of missiles being loaded onto small boats in the Persian Gulf. Joining us now is Congressman Tom Reed. Congressman, what do you know of this?
Well, obviously, the aggressive nature of Iran is continuing to escalate and continue to grow, and it's not going to go unnoticed by our policymakers and leaders here in Washington, D.C. I just hope this course changes here in the very near future.
Congressman, I understand that a British officer basically disputed the reports of missiles being loaded onto a boat in Iran. What do you make of that? Why would they not agree with what apparently is pretty obvious evidence that this is going on?
Well, obviously there's always a dynamic here where this is ever changing very quickly, but the escalation by Iran in this area is clear, and I think that's without disagreement. And so what we have to do in America is send the message that this is not going to be tolerated, that this is not going to be acceptable, and that Iran needs to stand down and de-escalate this. And if they do that, I am very confident that we will not have any type of conflict here.
Hey, Congressman, it's Scott Martin. I mean, we kind of been through this already with Iran in the past. I mean, who's to say that, yes, they get the message, but then they don't de-escalate? What are the next steps that we take?
Well, you just got to depend on the situation, but I can be very clear with you and with Iran that we are not going to allow this to go unnoticed, that there will be a response by us. But at the end of the day, we do not want to engage in conflict. We do not want to have this escalate. And now is the time for cooler heads to come to the table and just step back and de-escalate the situation as soon as possible.
Congressman, I saw some reports in the media that some of the president's administration were speaking more hawkishly on the subject than the president himself, and there was a little bit of a disconnect there. You think that story is overstated? To your mind, is the president and his administration speaking with one voice here to your satisfaction?
No, I think there's one voice there, but I clearly can see where the president's at. You see that he's has followed through on his campaign promises to disengage American forces across the world, and the use of military force is always on the table with the president. It's clear to me that it is, but he wants to have these matters resolved without military conflict, without escalation. But us being the world leader that we are, we need to send the message that it will not go unnoticed, and we will respond if necessary.
And Congressman, you did meet with the president today about his immigration plan. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi just issuing a statement on the president's merit-based plan, saying it's dead on arrival. What do you make of this?
Yeah, there you go. It's partisan politics right from the get-go from the Speaker's office. But I think the Speaker is going to be in a box here. She's going to have to deliver on behalf of her majority maker districts, her majority maker Democratic members, that they can govern. And if they can't come to the table to compromise, to find a solution that we can agree upon, I give the president credit today. He put a marker down. He put something in black and white on the table. Now, if Nancy Pelosi has a response to that is going to be partisan politics, well, then we're not going to be able to resolve this in a bipartisan way. My hope is the pressure on Nancy Pelosi will build from her members to say we need to do something on this because we all agree the immigration system's broken.
And we're of the opinion, though, this is basically going no place fast, correct, as we head into the 2020 election? It's more of a campaign platform right now?
I think the president, by having us over, as well as other opportunities on the Hill to meet with bipartisan groups of folks, wants to get a deal, wants to get something done. But when you immediately hear it's dead on arrival, that's not conducive to finding compromise and finding common ground to solve the problems for the American people.
So
I think your outlook is pretty accurate.
Congressman, it sounds as though they left the Dreamers and the DACA situation out of the conversation, out of this proposal. Is that because they hope to use it as a bargaining tool to bring the Democrats in on what really needs to be done on immigration?
I think this is a moment in time for the Democrats to put on the table what they stand for. And if Dreamers and DACA kids is something that they want to fight for and they want to find a solution for, here's an opportunity to do that. But they're not even looking to put that on the table. And to me, that's a shame. You got 2 million people, 2 million people that could be positively impacted by a solution here, and they won't even put that on the table to have a conversation to find common ground.
Is there anybody outside of Nancy Pelosi on that side of the aisle that is even talking about this or even trying to meet, part way at this point in time?
There are. I can tell you in the Problem Solvers Caucus, our bipartisan group of members that have set aside partisan, proud Republicans, proud Democrats, but at the end of the time trying to find common ground, the discussion there is very positive. We want to find a compromise.
Senator, excuse me. I was just going to say, what's Congressman? That's the thing, though, is like, do they really want to find compromise? Because that's the thing. I mean, Congressman, we talked about this. We've been over this with Pelosi and Schumer in the past. They haven't seemed to want to find compromise because any compromise that they seem to find, they attribute to a win from Donald Trump. So therefore, it doesn't seem like they want to come to the table.
I think you're onto something there, but I think the American people, the silent majority voice that I believe that is out there, is saying if that's what you're going to do with the majority, if that's what you're going to do in Washington D.C., is just be partisan, is to block any type of constructive conversation, then you can go home, and we'll send people in there that want to get something done. That means a new speaker, that needs a new majority in the House, and so let's see what happens. But I think the silent majority of Americans are speaking with one loud voice to say, be proud, be Republican, be Democrat, but find common ground.
Congressman, thanks for joining us tonight. You have a great evening.